You wake up every day thinking you are in control of your life. You believe your choices are rational, your emotions are justified, and your reactions are logical. But what if I told you that most of your decisions are not even yours? Imagine a simple sticky man, just a small stick figure standing in the middle of a blank page. This sticky man represents you. Around him are invisible strings, and each string is controlled by something you rarely notice, your subconscious mind. Psychology tells us that nearly 95% of human behavior is driven by subconscious patterns. That means the sticky man moves long before he decides to move. He reacts before he thinks. And most of the time, he doesn't even know why he feels what he feels. Picture this sticky man walking into a room full of people. Someone laughs in the corner. Instantly, he feels insecure. He thinks they are laughing at him. But are they? Or is this an old memory pulling the string? Maybe years ago, he was embarrassed in front of a class. That moment created a belief. People are judging me. Now, every similar situation activates the same emotional reaction. This is called cognitive bias. The brain loves patterns. It would rather be predictable than accurate. So instead of asking, "What's really happening?" the sticky man asks, "What does this remind me of?" And then he reacts. The sticky man also has something called an ego shield. The ego's job is protection. If someone criticizes him, instead of calmly evaluating the feedback, the ego pulls another string, defensiveness. He gets angry, he justifies himself, he blames others. Why? Because the brain treats social rejection like physical pain. Studies show that the same brain regions activate during rejection as during injury. So when someone says, "You're wrong," the sticky man hears, "You're not good enough," and that feels dangerous. But here's where it gets interesting. The sticky man has a hidden power, awareness. The moment he notices the strings, they loosen. When he pauses and says, "Why did that comment hurt me so much?" he interrupts the automatic reaction. That pause is psychological gold. It separates stimulus from response. Between what happens and how you react, there is a tiny space, and in that space lives freedom. Most people never step into that space. They let the strings pull them for years, repeating toxic relationships, self-sabotaging opportunities, procrastinating dreams. Not because they are weak, but because they are unconscious. Think about procrastination. The sticky man has a goal. He wants success. But instead of working, he scrolls his phone. He tells himself he's lazy. But psychology says laziness is often fear in disguise. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of discovering he's not as capable as he hopes. So the subconscious pulls the comfort string. Dopamine from scrolling feels safer than risking failure. The brain always chooses familiar pain over unfamiliar growth. Now imagine the sticky man deciding to cut one string. Just one. The next time he feels jealous, instead of reacting, he observes. He says, "This jealousy is telling me something." Jealousy often hides admiration. If someone's success triggers you, it might reveal what you secretly want. That emotion isn't your enemy. It's a signal. The sticky man starts listening instead of fighting his emotions, and slowly he transforms. Confidence in psychology isn't loud. It's not pretending to be perfect. It's simply knowing you can handle discomfort. When the sticky man stops running from uncomfortable feelings, he becomes stronger. When he allows embarrassment, rejection, and uncertainty without collapsing, the strings weaken. The subconscious loses control when brought into consciousness. Most people think self-improvement means adding something new habits, new routines, new strategies. But often growth is about removing illusions, removing the belief that you are your thoughts. Thoughts are just mental events, not commands. The sticky man can watch a thought like, "I'm not good enough," float by without obeying it. That's emotional intelligence. That's psychological maturity. At the end of the day, the sticky man realizes something powerful. He was never broken. He was programmed. And programs can be rewritten. Every reaction you question, every fear you face, every uncomfortable truth you accept, you redraw your own lines. The sticky man becomes less of a puppet and more of an author. So the next time you feel triggered, pause. Ask yourself, who is pulling this string? Is it the present moment, or is it an old story? Because the moment you see the string, you are no longer controlled by it. And that is where real freedom begins.